So I've been noticing this discourse surrounding the idea of de-influencing all over the internet because there's this jaded attitude towards social media that's been developing for a while now, where people are just tired of the facade, being told that all these products and these plants will make you happy and getting them kind of shoved down your throat. And I think that we're just collectively exhausted by the rampant inauthenticity. And it's hard to live your life feeling like you're failing all the time because on social media you see all of these homes that are in perfect condition, all of these plants that are growing incredibly well. So we're left feeling like our homes aren't good enough and we're not performing well enough at our hobbies. Our hobbies, you know, things that are supposed to bring light and joy to your life that are now stressing you out because you're not doing them well enough according to the standards that you see on social media that you subconsciously begin to compare yourself to. Yeah, those. So generally speaking, I am completely on board with the de-influencing idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I love beautiful and pretty things. I have an appreciation for really nice aesthetic shots. And it's nice to look at the thriving plants in people's collections. And it's nice to show how my collection is thriving. But I do think that we need to be careful to show a balance. We can't only show the highlight reels. I think that we have a responsibility to also be honest and authentic so that we don't contribute to all of these issues on social media. So, therefore, I thought it would be perhaps healthy and vulnerable of me to share the parts of my collection right now that aren't doing so hot and kind of the quiet underbelly of what it's like to have a plant collection that exceeds like 100 plants. You know, obviously there are people out there that have way more plants than I do and rarer plants and whatever. I'm just showing you what it's like to live with plants in my life, and perhaps it will be relatable or comforting to you to know that, like, yeah, I run a plant YouTube channel. Like, it's not my full-time job or anything, but it's a significant slice of my life, and plants are important to me, and I love them, and I have a lot of them. But even with those things being true, like, I do not have it all together, and I'm gonna show you that. And another thing to be completely honest about is that plants have been on the back burner of my life for a while now. I still love them, don't get me wrong. Like, if I didn't love my plants, I would get rid of them all, probably. But I have a lot of other identities and responsibilities that come before plants. And even as far as hobbies go, I'm currently focusing on some other hobbies right now. And that means that I'm pretty behind on my plant chores, and my plants are not all thriving the way that, you know, they theoretically could be if I were to dedicate more time and space and energy for them, both figuratively in the sense of like my own personal bandwidth, and literally in the case of how I structure my home. Because yes, in theory, I think that I could manage to fit a lot more plants in my house if I really wanted to. I could probably make all these plans to add greenhouse cabinets throughout my house, and I could build all these shelves out, and like I could do all of that. But I know that I just don't have the desire to take care of that many plants as much as I would love the look of it, and maybe it would be really good for my YouTube channel and for my Instagram to like have that many plants and to really keep it up, but it's just not what I'm most passionate about right now. I've been running a lot this summer because I've been training for a half marathon that's actually literally tomorrow as of the day that I'm filming this. And I've also been writing a book and reading a lot, and I'm really passionate about those hobbies too. So I think that it is so normal and so realistic to be a person that has a lot of passion areas. I mean, it's fine if plants are your only passion area, and if you want to dedicate a lot of time and energy to it, like that is absolutely your prerogative. But I think that for most people, they are being pulled in a lot of different directions, and plants are not always going to be the priority. And even if plants are your priority, I am certain that you get tired and you don't feel like doing all of your plant chores all the time. I am certain that some plants get underwatered or pest outbreaks happen that you just cannot keep up with. Like, these things happen, and it's not always going to be perfectly clean. Your plant supplies are not always going to be perfectly organized. This is just life and part of being human and messy. And I just want to perhaps show you some of that today. So yeah, I'm going to show you the parts of my collection that I'm not particularly happy with, or that have been annoying me recently, that I wish were different, but I don't have whatever it is to make it different right now. Be that the time, the energy, the resources, the desire. So yeah, that was a very long introduction, but I just needed to talk about that and like get it out of my system first so that then I can show you everything, okay? Before we get started, I am going to make myself a matcha because I and fading. It's the early afternoon, and it's like right in that time where I just get hit with that second wave of exhaustion just from living and being a mom of 2 young children. You should take this opportunity, this little matcha break, to make yourself some sort of fun beverage, be it a coffee, or even if it's just water and you're actually being responsible and hydrated. I'm gonna make my matcha, and I am going to purposefully make it a little bit cute and aesthetic for the sake of this video, but just know that in the background, it's not that romanticized. All right, here's my dining room. Actually, I'm going to turn on the forbidden overhead lighting because the sun just went behind the clouds and you can't see anything. So, oh, that's so gross. Again, just to review, I'm going to show you parts of it that I'm like, or just generally like, you know, all the things. Okay, so this is painful. I don't like showing off the things that like are imperfect. Like who likes that? But I think this is good. And it ebbs and flows, right? Like it's not always perfect, not always. Okay, also the lighting, horrible. Okay, starting off strong with this poor Cebu Blue pothos. I went on a trip to Florida, as you guys might have seen if you saw that video, which was fun. But when I returned, I was gone for like a week or a little over a week. And when I returned, most of my plants actually held on quite well, but my Super Blue Pothos was the one that had like the roughest time and a bunch of leaves yellowed. And then, you know, I watered it, it bounced back, it was fine. This week, I just got behind on watering, and so this is what it currently looks like. I'm sure it will bounce back and it will be fine, but obviously like these yellowed leaves, some of them were already yellowed to begin with because of that trip to Florida, but we've got a few more yellowing leaves I'm gonna have to trim off. And yeah, in general, it's just unhappy right now, so I'm gonna have to trim that. Okay, up here, my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma has hit the ceiling, and also like the growth has started to become deformed. And what I want to do, I want it to keep on growing actually, like along the ceiling or something. And I do have more of those plant hooks that I've been meaning to put up there. But when I went to go do it, I realized I wasn't tall enough. So I needed my husband to do it, but I just keep forgetting to ask him to do it. And I guess I could go to the garage and get the ladder, but this Syndapsis pictus silvery Ann? Yeah, okay, sorry, I just glitched for a second. It's cute. It's also very long and leggy. I need to trim it so badly. And speaking of, okay, my Monstera, horrible shape. I tried pretty hard to prop it up with this weird makeshift trellis situation. It hasn't worked. So I just need to address this plant again. I'm halfway tempted to get a new one and start over, or like chop this all the way down. I don't know. I am very unhappy with it. It's so unruly. And yeah, I truly, like, I just so badly want one of those monsteras that's like so big and luscious and perfectly shaped, but I just haven't bothered very much with this. And the one time I tried, it just didn't work. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll deal with it later. It's just getting worse. So yeah, I get like stressed out. Just look at that. It's so stressful. I just need to like suck it up and get like a stake or a pole, like a proper actual thick one. I don't know, but yeah. Oh, and another thing that you're gonna notice, here's a bunch of clutter. That's our clutter corner. I hate it so much. I feel like my husband and I clean that corner out like every couple of weeks or so, and then it looks nice, but then it just gradually accumulates stuff. I don't know. I think everyone might have a clutter corner. I need a better system than this because this system stresses me out. But it's a cycle, and we are at the peak of the cycle where it's just Up there is cute at least. Okay, what about these Hoyas? What's the story with these Hoyas? Okay, they look really pretty and cute from afar, and most of them are, but there are a few that need to be watered. Like, okay, this gal right here is looking rough. I know it's backlit, so it's hard to tell. Woo! I know it's backlit, so it's hard to tell, but these leaves here are very wrinkled. I need to water this plant badly. It's actually losing a couple of leaves because, yeah, I didn't think I was so behind on watering these plants, but it's been a really busy week. Oh, here. Actually, I found the culprit. Mealy bug. I don't know how well you can see that, but we've got a mealy here. That's wonderful. I love that for me. That's also just part of owning plants, is that you just sometimes notice pests popping up when you didn't realize they were there before, and that explains things. So that's great. That's lovely. The Hoya the Hoya compacta might be my least favorite plant to have mealybugs on, or like any sort of pest on, because, you know, look at those grooves. That's not going to be fun. So I'm going to have to treat that later, but probably not today because I'm very busy today. I have to film this video and then I have a lot of other things to do. So it's just, yeah, I just need to write that down and not forget, because I might forget. Hoya polynera, honestly, this one's doing great. She's slay. She's wonderful. Let's see, anything else in particular? Oh, this Hoya elliptica, it's so backlit. I apologize. You really can't see it, but you can see that really long peduncle where it never has actually given me a proper bloom. It just keeps blasting the blooms. Yeah. And this Hoya australis lisa has also been dropping leaves, but that could also just be, I think all of these Hoyas are just slightly underwatered because, yeah, since they're Hoyas, I'm like, oh, they'll be okay. You know, they tend to fall to the bottom of the priority list sometimes when it comes to watering, because I know that they can handle a little bit of underwatering, but like, you know, obviously not a lot and not long term. So it's something I've been putting off, but I need to address again. Also, I do think that some of them need to be repotted, and that's another reason that they're drying out. Like this plant right here, it's my Hoya lacunosa super silver, and I know that you can't see it right now, but the leaves are so wrinkly, and I literally watered it maybe 2 days ago. So I think that this plant actually needs a repot. I think that might perhaps be relatable is the disgusting algae water and like the dying leaves. Just this like little propagation here that's been sitting here for, 6 months maybe, forever. Like it's just, yep. I've got a lot of those like water propagations that have just been sitting around forever. And who knows if I'll ever do anything with it other than just let it sit here. And like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a water propagation sitting there. Like, in fact, that can be really cute. But I would deign to say that this algae water is not cute. These plants right here, my Micans in Brazil, are doing fine. But they're also not like thriving either because they're in a pretty low light spot. So, you know, it's something. Oh yeah, that snake plant has not grown for me in ages. Also because it's in a low light spot, I imagine. Yeah, this Maranta, I don't pay attention to it enough. Frankly, it's the Maranta Critoviana. I have the variegated kind, and that one has just been more of my priority. I ended up moving this to this spot maybe a couple months ago, and it was doing fine for a while, but then I watered it, and strangely enough, after I watered it is when the leaves started curling like this. So I'm like, oh, did you have dry rot and now you have like root rot or something? Yeah, I don't know, but I thought it would maybe be happy here because it does pretty well in low light, but alas, it's fine. My Alocasia Black Velvet is in a state. It's just, I don't think it's gonna croak on me, but it's down to one leaf where previously it had been, you know, so happy and thriving. So I don't really know what happened, but I don't know, maybe I can put it outside and maybe it will be happier there. I don't know. But yeah, this is one of those plants where I'm like, I don't know what happened. I thought we were on good terms, but over the last few months, it's just dropped each leaf and has not really replaced them. So, you know, that's fine. A similar deal with my Aglaonema Maria. I'm so close to just getting rid of this plant because like these leaves just keep on wilting and dying off. And it could be that it's in like too low light of a situation. Honestly, that would be like my best guess. Or maybe I just keep underwatering it. But, you know, at least it does have a new leaf right here. That's the first new leaf it's had in a long time. But, like, yeah, this corner is not, it's fine, but it's not thriving either. I guess my Syngonium albo is doing like fine. There's some new leaves, which is happy, but like I also feel like I've been neglecting this plant. Oh, and this plant over here in this corner, I neglect it constantly. Look at all those crispy leaves. Oh, it's so bad. This is the plant that I forget to water the most, and I'm shocked that it's still alive, frankly. And I will say it used to like be way longer, but then my daughter pulled off like half of the plant, and so I put it in a jar as sphagnum moss, intending to propagate it. That was 3 months ago. I haven't potted them together again yet. Yeah, I need to. It hasn't happened. Welcome to the corner of plants that I'm starting to not like this setup anymore. I love the credenza and I like having plants here, but like I just don't like this grow light here anymore. I mean, it's been here for years, but I just don't like this grow light here anymore. I've never really loved the way that it makes the vibe feel. Like having one of those Soltech track light systems might be better here. I don't know. But I'm just discontent with how this setup is for some reason. And I think part of the reason is this Anthurium magnificum. Yeah, I don't think it's dying, but it's kind of dying. I mean, the other leaf I cut off because it was completely yellow, and now this one is on the verge of also being, yeah. I mean, I don't think that it's bleached, but it could be. I don't really fully understand what happened with this plant, if I'm being honest with you, but it doesn't look good. It also has a crayon in the soil because I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and you know, that happens. Oh, and I don't know what the heck that is. It's some other toy. Yeah, it does look like it has a new leaf that's trying to emerge, and maybe I should mist it and try to help it out. But yeah, I'm a little bit frustrated with this plant right now. What I should do is like move it and rehab it and try to solve the problem. But do I have the bandwidth to do that right now? Not really. It's not great. This Anthurium, I am pleased to report, is actually quite happy for the most part. This leaf is the most recent leaf that it came out with, and it doesn't grow often, but when it does, I mean, I love watching the emergent leaves. But the realistic part to this is that I always forget the name of this plant. Always, literally always. Also, it's very dusty. So it's doing like pretty well, and I think it likes this spot. And I'm happy with the way that it looks. It's a very cool, unique plant. But my brain cannot conjure the name. And anytime I talk about this plant, I have to end up Googling it or like referring back to an old video of mine to where I mentioned what the name was. I don't know. Most of my plants' names I can remember, but this one just doesn't stick with me. So that's the realistic, relatable part, I guess. This is my Syndapsis, like platinum or whatever. And it's cute, but also, okay, do you see how there's like literally exposed roots? Okay, my kids knock this plant down all the time, and really I should move it, and I also need to repot it in general and like add more soil. The last time they knocked it down, like I tried to put as much of the soil back as I could, but I vacuumed the rest, and I just could not be bothered to like go down to the basement and top off the soil. And it's doing fine, but I know it could do a whole lot better if I actually did that extra step. So, okay, my philodendron white princess is looking very rough. Genuinely, I look at this plant and I feel so stressed out. The leaves are yellowing. I'm pretty sure there's pests on here. So many leaves get stuck, and like, yeah, it's just super leggy up here and misshapen and constantly underwatered. And like the pink parts are cute, but I just need to clean up this plant really badly. But I just don't, when I think about it, I just don't want to. All right, now we're here in my bedroom with my greenhouse cabinet, and I have like a little section of crates to show off my plants that I originally made for plants with moss poles specifically, but I guess moss poles is another thing that we can talk about today. But okay, in general, a lot of these plants again are just doing very fine, very mediocre. Oh, this is fertilizer from when I was fertilizing my plants. It's like organic fertilizer that I like sprinkle into the soil. So yeah, I had been fertilizing my plants maybe a week and a half ago, and I put the fertilizer here and forgot to put it away. But at this point, I'm like, well, I may as well leave it out because I'm gonna fertilize the plants again in a few days. So But generally speaking, I actually am really bad at keeping up with fertilizing. So this is actually kind of nice to keep here because the biggest hurdle to me fertilizing my plants is like going down to the basement and getting it all set up. So honestly, it might be good practice for me to intentionally prepare things and have them be like ready to go. Like, you know, prepare the portion of fertilizer, prepare my watering cans or whatever it is I need to prepare so that when it's time to get the task done, like it's there and accessible and easy to just grab and do the task rather than putting it off. That would be good. But probably not like just, you know, leaving it out. Like I would want to have an actual nice, neat system. Oh, and yeah, here's a bottle of, what's it called? Here's a bottle of Pure Crop 1 that, yeah, that's not where that's supposed to be. Okay, the biggest issue with this area though is that I've been wrestling mealybugs. They've been getting worse and worse, and I've been trying so hard to keep up with it and eradicate them. Like I spray them frequently, I wash them down, I go in with, you know, the Q-tips and rubbing alcohol, but it feels like no matter how much I tackle them, which to be fair, like I'm not spending every hour every day working on it. Like it's not my priority. It's more like, okay, when I see the mealybug, I'll grab like a little rubbing alcohol swab and try to get rid of it. And I've been spraying them using some systemic here and there. I'm like, okay, these mealybugs must have like stomachs of iron or something. Like, I don't know. They're impossible to eradicate, I guess, because they just keep popping up, and I'm gonna show them to you. And like it's under control. Like it's not a massive infestation because I have been keeping up with it, but they just keep popping up and it's so annoying. So yeah, there's some mealybugs on my Alocasia Frydek, which by the way, I will say, I moved it up on top of the cabinet. It used to be inside the cabinet and it wasn't doing that great, but right now it's actually doing pretty well, which is nice. But okay, you can kind of actually see the silhouette of the mealybug a little bit better right there. It's like on the other side. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's there. Oh yeah, there's mealies like in this little crevice here. Oh, that's so disgusting. And you can see there's more up there. So like, I hate them, they're annoying, but they're just around right now. There's also some mealies right here on this Hoya. See that? They like those little crevices and they're just spreading and getting from plant to plant. Also, this Hoya is so dusty. Oh, here's another water propagation with algae water. That's disgusting. And it's not like I never switch out the water, but it just happens so fast. I've got more mealybug issues in here. I've got some mealybugs on my anthurium right here. See that? And honestly, I think that this variegated Monstera adansonii is like the worst of them. This is the plant that I see them on the most. And I think this is where they all came from and like where they're all breeding. So you can see on the new growth there, there's lots of mealies. And yeah, this is the plant I'm just constantly taking mealies off, and it just does not work. And I'm just so done with it. Oh my gosh. But in general, in here, like a lot of these plants are doing fine. Again, not all of it's pretty. We've got some dead leaves. And honestly, down here, it looks so disgusting and disorganized. And like I would have to clean these shelves daily for them to actually look nice. Oh, and also I've got stuff peeling off the, what's it called? You know what I mean? They're like the strips, the adhesive strips to hold in the humidity. I need to replace those. Also, don't look at the cords that are hidden by this crate and all the dust and disgusting stuff that's back there. A humidifier that I haven't used since the winter time, but it's just sitting there collecting dust. Yeah, not that cute, honestly. Really not that cute. Oh, and another thing is, yeah, I really need to pot up most of these plants. They've all been sitting in sphagnum moss for ages, and I have not touched them yet. I need to pot them up. Oh, and my variegated string of hearts has this one spot that I just noticed that like is super barren and looks horrible. And the bottom is fine, but it's like right here. It's all like died off, and I think it's because it's not getting enough light because there's like a little gap here and it was kind of hidden behind this plant. So in general, I do feel like I need to reorganize my greenhouse cabinet again and clean up the plants and make sure everybody's getting enough light and enough attention because it's just getting a little bit cramped in here and it's not ideal. There are some plants that are doing fine, like my Hoya linearis, for example. Like, oh my gosh, He's beautiful and gorgeous. But for every plant that's doing fine, I've got a plant that like, oh, my varicosum, it doesn't look great. Honestly, so I propagated this plant. So I have propagations that I need to actually pot up that I haven't potted up. And I kept this as like the insurance plant. But since the propagations have all rooted up and I just need to pot them up, I have grown less and less enthused about taking care of this one. So that's why it looks the way that it does. It needs to be watered. You know, it's fine. And there are several plants right here that are actually due for watering. But if I want to highlight a plant that's doing well, like my Anthurium crystallinum and my Anthurium clarinervium, they're not incredible examples. Like they're not beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous specimens. Like I've seen gorgeous specimens out there. Like it's nothing, but like they're doing okay. Like there's some new growth and they're relatively happy in ambient humidity, which I'm very pleased with. So like, yeah, that's good. But also peep the dirt and the mess that's everywhere. Honestly, like I desperately need to take all these crates out and like move them out and clean underneath the crates, because I guarantee you there's so much dirt under there and like dust that I need to get to. It's just ugh. And oh look, yeah, this leaf doesn't look happy. I actually really need to repot that plant. Yeah, lots of plants that are due for a repotting and watering and pest treatment, all of that. Okay, here's another big portion of my plant collection, and at a distance, it looks super cute and, you know, is great, but we're going to not look at it at a distance. We're going to look up close at all of the spaces that I need to clean and all the plants that need addressing. So yeah. First of all, I literally cleaned this floor like a couple days ago. And it already, I mean, I don't know how you can see that, but like already just leaves fall off and dirt, pieces of dirt just get on the floor, and yeah, it needs to be cleaned constantly. So plants are kind of messy, not gonna lie. Also, oh my gosh, this poor plant, my Anthurium vitarifolium, a lot of it looks really nice, but there's like a little corner there. I don't know if it doesn't get enough light or why it's so unhappy, but I need to pull it down and just investigate the leaves. They could just be dying just because it's normal for leaves to die off sometimes, but it could be a pest, it could be any number of things. So I really need to address that. Also, my philodendron splendid, I chopped it ages ago and with the intent of, you know, starting the plant over and then like chopping this plant up and giving that away. But yeah, I've let it grow off the pole. I have not kept up with my moss poles like at all. They've been so high maintenance. Although I will say, I just noticed this newest leaf actually looks quite promising and large. So now I'm like, okay, once this one comes out, do I want to take another top cut? I want a really big and beautiful philodendron splendid, but I just, you know, this is cute, but it's not what I want it to be either. And I just have not taken the time to fully address it and start the plant over, which is fine. This plant is underwatered frequently and it hates me for it, but I mean, it's still kind of cute. Over here, okay, another thing with like the mess and the dirt and the grime, like I really need to be more intentional about like taking all of my plants off the shelf. This needs to be added to like be a bi-weekly thing or something, because I usually do it maybe once every couple of months and it just gets gross and disgusting that I have bits of soil and dust all over these shelves, and like that's like leftover fertilizer down there and sphagnum moss just sitting there. Like it's just not cute. It's not cute. And it's fine, but it's not cute. Like I will live, but I just, when I look at it, I don't like it. But that's also me being honest with you that like, if this is how it is for you too, you're not alone. Because I'm a person that like likes to be clean. I have fairly high standards for myself in that area, but it just doesn't happen even as much as I would like it to happen. Because again, yeah, I just, at the end of the day, even though I want it to happen, do I have the energy? Do I have the time to do this and keep up with it? Because it's one thing to just like knock it out, you know, once per season, but to actually maintain it is a whole different thing, you know, for it to like perpetually look nice. Here's the thing, okay? Here's what I'm getting at. There are absolutely people out there that do make plants their like entire lives, and they do clean up their shelves like on a weekly basis. I'm sure those people are out there, and if you are one of those people, honestly, biggest kudos to you. Like that is really impressive. But for me, like I just cannot keep up with it. So if you also cannot keep up with it, no, number one, like I also can't keep up with it. So like there's nothing inherently wrong with you because you can't keep up with it. It's just life, and everyone's life looks different. But it is really hard to see on social media all these people with this perfectly immaculate shelves and that sort of thing. It's such a small thing, but subconsciously it gets to you, and then you have this really high standard for yourself that is just like exhausting to keep up with, and then you end up resenting your plants, and the hobby becomes less enjoyable because you're worried about like the aesthetics of it, or feeling like you're inadequate and not doing a good enough job at taking care of your plants and keeping your space really perfect and neat. And the thing is, I know for a fact, because I've done it before, either I like don't show the mess, like move things to the other side of the room that are like cluttered, or I don't zoom in on the dirt. Like I don't let you see the messy parts, when I'm filming, because okay, yeah, like nobody wants to see that. Like I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. But again, like I just want to be honest and be like, hey, yeah, okay, when I film some videos, if the focus is not on the fact that my plant collection is very average, or like the focus is not on the fact that like I'm messy too, I want it to look nice. And I don't know, I'm torn, because on the one hand, I think that that's fine, but on the other hand, I don't want to be perpetuating these really high standards. Because like another thing is, if you do zoom in, it's like, oh, I'm going to clean that up really fast before I actually take the picture and post it to Instagram. You know what I mean? So it's like the motive for getting it clean was that you were going to take a picture of it, but then other people that like aren't taking pictures and posting them to Instagram, and they're just like consuming. And even myself, as I'm consuming, like even though I've been behind the scenes and I've been the one to clean it, I somehow also convinced myself that the person that posted the photo or whatever didn't just clean off the dust of their plants before taking a picture of it. They didn't just now clean the space before getting that picture. When in reality, like that's probably the case fairly frequently, like more often than not would be my guess. But like in my mind, it's like, oh no, like they sit there and wipe down their plants on a daily basis, and that's why it looks so good. When it's like, okay, no, maybe they just cleaned off their plant and then took the picture and then added a filter. Like that's also very possible. So yeah, anyway, okay, let's keep going. In general, I think it's fine, but it's not arranged the way that I want it to be arranged anymore. I feel like I have too many leaves touching and that sort of thing, so I need to address that again. Also, I was so paranoid that I got thrips again, and it's definitely possible that I did. So I did treat these plants just in case, but I do think that this is just a case of the white part browns more easily of the plant. But speaking of my elbow, yeah, I've got this propagation up here that has been ready to pot up for probably a month now, and I haven't done it yet because I haven't had the time to film a video where I do that, and that's like the whole thing. So this is another plant that I really need to deal with. My epipremnum, it's completely like grown off this pole here, and I don't know what I'm gonna do because I liked it on this pole. It started fenestrating for me, but eventually, I mean, plants get big and you have to decide what to do with them. That's like a whole another facet to keeping plants and having a large plant collection, is deciding what to do when they grow and they get too big. Like how are you gonna handle that? Because sometimes you like them at one specific stage and you just want them to stay there, but they don't. They're living things and they keep on growing. So yeah, you got to decide what to do. I tend to procrastinate that, and then it gets worse. So yeah, I just recently had to chop off some really leggy vines off this syngonium because it used to trail and was looking so nice, but then the leaves started dying off for some reason, and I just cut it back. So this leaf right here on this painted lady is so deformed. Yeah. Okay. But also I have a propagation of this plant, the same plant, that I intend to like put up its own pole and like get rid of this one. I have a lot of those going on actually, where I propagated them a long time ago with the intent of kind of starting the plant over, but I kept the old plant just in case the propagation didn't go well. So now I have two plants, and it's taking up a lot of room, and I just need to address it again. This plant needs to be watered. It is severely underwatered right now. Oh my gosh, poor plant. I actually probably need to repot it. Look at all those roots. Yeah, there's lots of plants I need to repot as well. I think I've already mentioned that. This plant looks really cute, like initially at first glance, but then you realize, oh, I haven't rotated this maybe ever. Not that it would even fit. Yeah, it would look so awkward if I were to move it from this place. So yeah, I haven't been like taking the conventional advice. I'm actually really sad about this one. So this lemon lime maranta was thriving so much. It was looking beautiful. But then I don't know how I underwatered it because I thought that I had watered it. But then one day I walked in here and it was all like shriveled up. So of course I watered it, but you know, when you underwater a plant like this, particularly like, yeah, maranta, it's just looking really crispy and unhappy. So I need to go through and like trim some of these leaves off that aren't faring as well. But yeah, now they're like all discolored. It's not quite as vibrant and that makes me sad, but that's also me just being honest about what happened. Down here, it's just like a little bit cluttered. Like it's not horribly cluttered, but I've held on to this for some reason. I don't know why. I cut it down to a stump. Which one was this again? Maybe this was the gigas. Yeah, this was the gigas. And actually, it does have a little growth point there, which is cute, but like, I don't think I need to keep it anymore, to be honest, because I have the propagations in here, which actually I haven't checked out recently, but there is a dead fly. That's disgusting. I'm gonna sweep that later. I hate that. Ugh. Okay, that's fine. Flies die in people's homes and that's what happens. But yeah, I don't normally keep this here, but I did move a bunch of plants outside for the summer and I needed a place to put this, so I just stuck it here, but it doesn't look cute. Oh, and also, yeah, I don't always use saucers when I should. So I've ruined this. Although this was very cheap, as a caveat, this was very, very cheap. I actually don't remember where I got it. I think it may have been Wayfair, but it was very cheap and I did get it specifically for my plant, so I'm not like overly worried about ruining the furniture and like having water issues. Like it's fine, but it doesn't look cute, you know? It's also very dirty and I need to clean it. Let's look at this because I don't even know if these propagations are doing their thing. Okay, there's a little bit of growth here, but are there even roots? I don't see roots. I see growth, but not roots, which is strange. I don't want to like mess with these too much, but yeah, these have been propagating for a long time and I'm seeing the growth points activate before any roots. I don't think I see any roots anywhere, which is a little bit concerning to me because I want my gigas to grow, please. I don't like that, but you know, it's fine. Oh, there's also mealies on this plant. My Alocasia cuprea, which is annoying. I will say the more stuff that I'm showing to you, the more I'm like getting the itch and the urge to do something about it. So I guess if this video actually kicks my butt into being productive with my plants and like more involved, that'd be great. Because if I'm being honest, I have been like putting a lot of this off. Taking care of my plants and like doing these things, the prospect of it has felt a little bit more draining to me than usual. And don't get me wrong, like I've still had spurts where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like fertilize all my plants today and I'm gonna spend several hours doing plant tours, but like I have not been in the mood to, I guess, clean and repot. Like I've been keeping my plants alive, I've been watering them, like it's been fine, but I've been doing a lot of the bare minimum. But I am feeling that urge now to like redecorate and clean and you know, all of that. So I don't know, maybe we'll have some plant chores videos in the future where I'm actually doing that. But again, even if I were to like do all of it and get it all done, it's hard to keep up with it continuously, you know, because it's not like I never ever clean and it's not like I never ever take care of my plants and do plant tours. Like that's completely false. Like I absolutely do all the time, but like I have so many plants and I have so many planty areas and I just have to prioritize other areas of my home and other areas of my life. But I do feel like it has gotten particularly bad this summer. But okay, the last thing, I don't really want to show you my plant supplies because it's almost like a step too far. It's so like my pots, just all the random stuff that I've accumulated. It's a wreck. It's a mess and it stresses me out. And that's part of the reason that I'm like putting off these plant tours is I'm like, I don't feel like going down to the basement and mucking through all this stuff that I have to get what I need. So what I desperately need to do is get like a shelving system. I need a better system. I need shelves. I need more bins. I need some sort of good organizational tool to keep it all together, because right now I just like don't have it. I have like a little table and a bunch of random bins of different sizes and cardboard boxes and just like things are everywhere. And I do clean it occasionally and like go through things, but not often enough. And also, I just don't have the places to put everything. So I feel like if I were to actually have the places to put everything, it would look a lot better and I would be a lot less stressed out. But that's like a whole project that I haven't gotten around to yet. But I am going to show it to you because it's probably good to show it to you because, again, this whole thing with this video is like demystifying having plants and being like, hey, the reality of having over 100 plants, you're also going to have a lot of plant supplies that you need to keep organized. And one of these days I'll have it organized, but like it has not been my priority to get that figured out. So that is one thing I kind of regret, and I wish that I had had the forethought to like come up with a system before I got all this stuff, like have a place to put everything before I got all this stuff. Ugh. I hate dealing with stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. Welcome to my basement and my horrific. Oh, it looks horrible. I hate it. I hate it. Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. I fully acknowledge that this is just a mess and I hate it. This right here is like a bunch of like plant packaging stuff that I've thrown in a single box, and I've got like soil. I have like my soil amendments and such down here, and I just have stacks and stacks of pots and random plant supplies shoved in boxes, and it's just like a mess and it's dirty and icky and I don't like it. So I'm not going to dwell on it, but like, yeah, it's just a mess and I need to figure it out. Well, that's me being honest. I'm sure I even missed some things, you know, but like, yeah. Thankfully, I don't have any plants that are like completely croaking right now. I just have a number of plants that are just like, you know, and I've got mealybug outbreaks happening, and I've got underwatered plants, and I've got messes galore and disorganized plant supplies. And yeah, I'm well aware that like it could be better, but this has not been where I've been choosing to spend my time, and you only have so much time in your life. So yeah, this was me trying to de-influence, trying to be honest about some of the messy parts of life. Like it is what it is. I'm not going to be like over dramatic and be like, oh my gosh, like my house is a complete disaster. Cause like I know that like it's fine. Like it's a beautiful home. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for my plants. I'm happy with a lot of elements of my collection, but I just am also painfully aware of the areas where like it's not social media worthy, but it doesn't have to be, because life is not social media and life is not perfect. And I welcome you into my mess, if only so it can make you feel better about yours. If you made it to the end of this video, comment with a potted plant emoji, and also let me know like if this was refreshing for you, helpful for you, or if I just put my mess out into the internet for nothing. No, I do think this was actually good for me too, to like look at everything and accept it. But also be determined to like, okay, you know, I have some things to add to my to-do list and I will get to them, and I'm excited to get to them, but also I just know that I don't have the time to do it this week, so it's fine. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. All those things are super helpful for my channel. And yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.